Andy.
Hola.
Bonjour.
Guten Tag. Zdravo. Namaste.
Who are these people? They are all members of STIBC, the Society of Translators and Interpreters of British Columbia. The province of British Columbia is made up of people whose origins lie in different countries. In recent years, the province has received large numbers of immigrants. Most come from countries where English or French is not their first language, and many are from non-English and non-French speaking countries. That makes us wonder how much translation is required in their day-to-day lives. How do they get a driver's license? Who can explain the basic laws to them and offer them medical assistance? And how about investors and entrepreneurs who have brought their businesses to Canada and want to expand them?
Hello. Türkçe çevireye ihtiyacınız var? Tamam, size bazı Türkçe çeviri.
Each day, John receives countless calls asking for translators or interpreters in various languages. He says most materials needing to be translated are driver's licenses, school diplomas, and certificates, but he also receives many calls regarding medical documents, legal contracts, film scripts, and literature.
Good afternoon, it's Society of Translators and Interpreters. How can I help you? Sorry, I cannot speak Mandarin, but I can help you. Do you need translation? Okay, I can give you some telephone numbers for our members in your area.
On the other hand, Joanne is in charge of administering STIBC, the nonprofit organization, and she coordinates all events and workshops for STIBC members.
The Society of Translators and Interpreters of BC was founded in 1981 by a group of 12 people, mostly university professors, who saw a need to have professional translators operating in British Columbia. From that small group, of which those 12, actually 11 now, are still active in the field in some way, we now have over 500, almost 550 members, and it's going to be 30 years in 2011 that the Society has been operating in BC. It has two main purposes. One is to offer a way for translators and interpreters to get certified and attain a higher ranking. And the other is that it has a code of ethics so that anyone in the public knows that a translator and interpreter is operating ethically and responsibly in their profession. It's really a way for people who are doing translation to have a professional society working with them, and for the people of the public to know there's a professional group standing behind those translators. When I look at how many new members, in 2008 we had 130 associate members. Now we have over 200 just associate members. Certified members is about the same, it's about 300. That also means, because it's a lot of work and effort to become certified, and so that number stays pretty stable.
I'm a certified conference interpreter and a certified translator, and that's what I do full-time. Conference interpreter is an interpreter that interprets at conferences, so simultaneous interpreter.
Wow.
For international conferences and for the government, basically.
So
Events like the Olympics, for example, I was interpreting there. And I was interpreting for German politicians coming from Germany, delegations, meetings between the Canadian sports minister and the German counterparts and things like that.
I'm a translator from English to French, and I'm Canadian from Quebec City. And I've been to translation after, as a second career, after being in messenger service. And now I'm what they call itinerant translator, because I travel and and I do my profession while traveling. So I think translation is a very good profession for people who likes to travel, because all you need is an internet connection so you can travel and do your work. And I think it's even better than pilots or people like this, because you get to go where you want to go, not where your bus is sending you. So translation for me is a great place to be. And STIBC, being one of the best associations in Canada and in the world, because of our particular situation in Canada, being a bilingual country, STIBC is doing great efforts and things for the member.
I'm translator for Serbia, and I came to Canada 8 years ago, and as it is not possible to make living by translating in Serbian because it's one of the smaller languages, I work in the admin field, but I'm so glad that I can keep in touch with my true profession, because I have been translating for 10 years back in the former Yugoslavia, so I'm so glad that I can keep in touch with my true profession.
I am currently an associate member of the Society of Translators and Interpreters of BC. I am fairly a new immigrant. I came to Vancouver in Canada almost 2 years ago, and almost as soon as I got here I joined STIBC because back in Mexico I had been working as a translator for 14 or 15 years. I had my own translation business, and so when I came here I wanted to know the industry and know my colleagues and start understanding how things work here. I find this a very rewarding career. I like helping people, and this is one great way of doing that.
Because I have a bachelor's of art degree in translation, so here I'm doing the same thing, working at home, from home, and as a freelance translator. And well, I like to do this job, and each year it's getting better regarding the flow of translations. Most of my clients are the general public, though I translate for some companies, private companies, but basically I do paperwork for immigration purposes, for students, people who want to work here in Canada, and most cases are also refugee claims, so that's my basic translation job.
I came to Canada 3 years ago, and back in Shanghai, where I worked as a teacher, teaching English at the university, and also worked as a part-time interpreter and translator. My special field is in business and finance. And ever since I came to Canada, I thought maybe it's a good idea just to pursue my hobby, translation and interpretation. So I joined this STIBC as an associate member in 2008 and passed the certification examination from Chinese to English in 2009. And now I basically get phone calls from clients who see my name pop up on STIBC website as a certified translator. So mostly now I do translation from Chinese to English as like Chinese driver's license, marriage certificate, and educational documents. So I'm thinking of creating, expanding my client base so that I will be able to do more translation in business and finance again.
I am a freelance translator. I translate from Japanese to English. I am from the United States originally, and I am a newly joined member, an associate member of STIBC. I became a translator of Japanese to English because I was living in Japan, and I did not intend to become a translator, but amongst some of the work that I was doing, I was asked to translate things. I was asked to do so privately, and I figured out that it was a pretty enjoyable thing to do. And something that I could do. So if you have a language that you are good at, as well as your native language, and especially if you have something else you know a lot about, if you talk to people in that field, you may find that translation is a very good source of work for you. It offers a lot of flexibility, a lot of responsibility, and if you like both of those things, then this might be the right path for you.
My language combination is Farsi to English. I'm a certified court interpreter and also certified Farsi to English language. I also do Turkish translation, Turkish interpretation, not translation. I have been doing interpretation and translation for over 16 years. Member of STIBIC for the same time. I moved to Canada in 1988, moved to Montreal, and after that moved to BC. Since then I have worked in different organizations, Multicultural Society, Red Cross. At the same time I've had my own freelance translation and interpretation services.
I joined the society back in 1986, and it was, for me, it was a way of breaking the isolation of working on my own. I'm self-employed, and making common cause with a group of people who have the same interests. Actually, translators and interpreters are, whatever their language, we have a lot in common, and it's been wonderful for me to have that relationship with my colleagues over the years. I do most of my work for the federal government, and as I say, I work at home. It's a good life.
It's important if you're going to do something professionally that you at least have access to objective standards rather than creating your own standards for professionalism. And so I do have my own standards, but I joined the society because I think it's important to have access to what other people think a translator and an interpreter should be or should do to meet professional criteria. And I think it's important that we have a forum like this to share ideas and to create standards among us, not to have them imposed from I'm not sure where, but to participate in the process and in doing so create a profession.
So, how can one become a member of STIBC?
It's easy to become a member of STIBC. All you need to do is go online to our website. It is www.stibc.org. Under membership, you will see that there is a link for join now. You just need to fill out the form and pay the first installment of the registration fee. Once you finish registering, you will receive an automated message from us that will ask you to send us your documents. And you will send us your documents, and the evaluation committee will assess your qualifications and decide on how to admit you to the society, which may be on dossier or by exam. People first become an associate member, and after working as an associate member for a while, they try certification. There are two ways to become a certified translator. One by exam, and two on dossier. The certification exam is given once a year, usually in February. But if you have experience and have done enough work that you can put in your portfolio and present it to the society, you may go for certification on dossier. You can call us at 604-684-2940, or you can send us an email at office@stibc.org.